Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
And you're watching Tesla Time News.
Episode 250
on Now You Know.
As always, we're brought to you by our amazing Patreon patrons. They have gotten us through 250 episodes, so huge shout out to them. And if you'd like to join us over on Patreon, head over to patreon.com/nowyouknow.
And we're also brought to you by BigBattery.com. No matter what you need to power, Big Battery can provide you with the latest battery tech at the best price per kilowatt hour, guaranteed. Their batteries are easily installed, require zero maintenance, and they're made right here in the U.S. Pick up yours today at BigBattery.com and use the code NowYouKnow for 5% off at checkout.
250 weeks ago, back in September of 2016, we decided to start Tesla Time News.
In the spring of 2016, I got my first electric car, one of the very first Tesla Model X's in the world.
It was as close to owning a spaceship as has ever existed, as if an alien had landed in the backyard and sold it to us. No one had ever seen one, no one knew what it was or what it could do, or the tremendous impact that Zach and I knew that it would have.
Now, as soon as we experienced supercharging, we knew that this was transformational, and we sought out every experience we could to try and use it.
So came the first Model X cross-country road trip. Using superchargers, we were able to cross the entire U.S. through deserts and mountains and plains. We drove all the way to the Fremont factory, then turned right and zoomed up the coast to Portland and Seattle, and from there we headed through Montana and up into Canada, heading all the way to Montreal before making it home.
In all, we had visited 25 states, 75 superchargers, and 3 provinces of Canada.
We had captured the whole adventure on our fledgling YouTube channel, proving something that almost no one at the time thought possible. Road tripping in an electric vehicle was possible and fun.
Now, along the trip, we stopped at superchargers where we talked with dozens of other Tesla owners and quizzical people who had never seen Falcon Wing doors before. The theme we found was common. What is that Elon Musk guy up to?
Are they going to make a cheaper Tesla?
When are they going to open up more superchargers?
What about other electric cars?
What about solar power?
The discussion at the superchargers, nicknamed Tesla Time, was filled with rumor and uncertainty. At that time, there was hardly any reporting on Tesla, and what news there was filled with fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Jesse and I couldn't stop talking about our transformative experience, and we wanted to cobble together whatever news we did hear together so that all of us Tesla enthusiasts could be on the same page.
This led us to recording the first Tesla Time News 250 weeks ago. And in all that time, Zach or I has always been here to bring you the news every single week.
We have never taken a break. We've never disappeared for 6 months like some other YouTubers. Week in, week out, we've never stopped.
We've certainly improved our equipment and recording acumen, but we've covered a lot of these stories that we've been talking about recently from the very beginning.
So first up is from episode 15, way back in December of 2016, our first story about the Boring Company. Jesse, do you think that Tesla has become boring?
It's a pretty exciting company. I mean, why?
Well, Elon tweeted the other day that he was stuck in traffic, and he said that he was just so sick of traffic that he wanted to invent a tunneling machine and take care of traffic that way.
No way. This is another Elon tweet, huh?
This is an Elon tweet. He started tweeting like crazy. I guess when you're stuck in traffic and you get frustrated, you think, you know what?
I can solve this problem.
I can solve this problem.
Unlike most people, I think he could really do that.
He wants to call it the Boring Company.
I think that's a great name. So,
do you think this is real?
He says in his tweet that I am actually going to do this. I mean, I can't even imagine all the things that he has on his plate every day, but it seems pretty straightforward.
Do you think this will incorporate Hyperloop? I mean, so maybe he's thinking, hey, you know what? The Hyperloop needs to go somewhere. This would be a good place to put it.
It needs to have tunnels probably in the cities. I think that would be...
I think tunnels are great. Since I was a kid, I thought tunnels solve so many problems, but every time I brought it up, people were like, you know how expensive tunnels are?
Right.
Well, I know they're expensive, but it's also expensive to be sitting in traffic.
It's absolutely super expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I play SimCity, City Skylines. I've got tunnels in all my cities.
You can afford them.
I can afford them.
Right.
Because I put the money where it needs to go. Yeah, I think that could be very exciting.
Wow. I remember recording that. But it's just amazing the progress that has happened in such a short span of time. I mean, we did help fund the Boring Company, of course.
Yeah, I mean, this is what paid for the beginning of the company, right? $10 million startup. And now today, in less than 5 years, they have actually completed their first tunnel project, the Las Vegas Convention Center Boring Company Loop, on time and on budget.
Heck yeah. Now going back to episode number 2 of Tesla Time News, when we used to drive around in Sparky, our Model X, a story about the release date of the Chevy Bolt.
The big story everyone's been talking about, which is the Chevy Bolt. They have released the release date, which should be December of this year. So December of 2016. Merry Christmas. You might be getting a Chevy Bolt in your stocking. Maybe. This would be an all-electric 60 kilowatt-hour battery pack.
Okay.
So no options on the battery pack. You get a 60 kilowatt-hour battery pack, that's it. The range is EPA rated at 238 miles, so not shabby.
No, that's not a bad range.
Not a bad range. It's a 4-door sedan.
Yep.
I do want to point out, it's a Chevy, but the car body and the frame and the seats are made in America at the Chevy plant.
Yeah.
But the guts, so the battery, the inverter, the motors, all the electronics, are all made by LG in Korea. So
it's a Korean car.
So it's a Korean car. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just so you know, basically Chevy didn't know how to do any of this stuff, so they subbed it out to LG. So it's, packaged as a Chevy, but you're buying an LG. Wow. We didn't know much about the Bolt until it came out, and nothing has really changed much in 5 years with the Bolt.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great car. Everyone who has one usually likes it. Its weakness is usually fast charging and long distance road tripping, but it is possible to do. Great range. I think that was the thing that really cemented, hey, range is actually really important in an electric vehicle.
All right, in these 250 weeks, we have met and heard from so many awesome people who have made the switch to electric power, like our buddy Daniel. Check this out.
Hey, Zach and Jesse. I wanted to show you my Tesla wall charger that matches perfectly with my Tesla Model Y, which also matches perfectly with my Zero all-electric motorcycle, which is being pulled by my other Tesla Model Y. Special thanks to Moto for a great job on a great design for a towable hitch so that you can tow your motorcycle while pulling with the front tire on the ground instead of the rear. Just less wear and tear on the mechanics. And we can also get a glimpse of my all-electric automated lawnmower. Keeps my yard cut nice and tidy.
Our community is always blowing our mind. Not only is Daniel living the all-electric life, he's showing us something new. I didn't know that you could tow a motorcycle like that.
I didn't either. And that's what I love about our community. People are going out there, shooting video contributor stories, sharing what they're doing in their community so we can all learn. And you can do it too. If you want to shoot a video contributor story for the show, go out and shoot it in landscape like Daniel did. Make sure there's no music on there and tell us a story in 2 minutes or less about something that's going on in your neck of the woods. All right. Now back to episode number 4 of Tesla Time News, when we were on the couch in the studio and we added music for some reason.
Way too much music, yes.
First story to start off with, I think, should be the Mercedes just announced at the Paris Motor Show just a couple days ago their new entry into electric vehicles, which is pretty exciting. I am pretty impressed by the car. It's called the Generation EQ. They said that EQ stands for Electric Intelligence. And not only are they going to make this car, but they also announced that they're going to be making charging stations, home chargers, and home battery packs. It'll have a range of up to 310 miles. That's their claimed miles, so obviously it's less if you do the whole EPA. But that's if you buy their biggest battery pack, which will be a 70 kilowatt hour battery. The starting price will be around $55,000. And they say they're close to production. So that means, I don't know what that means, but at least this isn't like 2020. So
Yeah,
we're
that's
talking.
true. So where are those Mercedes home battery packs?
Oh, the home battery packs, right. Did Mercedes actually hit the $55,000 starting price?
Not quite. It's actually $67,900 for the starting price of the EQC. So they did miss on price, and it's also only for sale in Europe.
But did Mercedes hit the release date of 2017?
The EQC came out in 2019, and it only sold about 1,400 units that year.
Yeah, and they've only sold 30,000 total. But did Mercedes hit the range of 310 miles that we reported on?
Nope. If you go to their website, the range is 266 to 282 miles. So they missed on the range a bit.
how about that wireless charging that Mercedes claimed it would have?
It does have wireless charging.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, for your phone. Now back to October 2016, and we're back to driving in Sparky, and this story about an unexpected Tesla product unveiling.
There's going to be an unexpected Tesla product unveiling on October 17th.
No way.
Yeah, so we have no idea what he's talking about. It could be that he's talking about the Model 3, maybe some kind of autopilot stuff in there, or heads-up display, or maybe there's been some hints that there's going to be a battery range offering of over 300 miles for the upper option
tiers?
car.
Wow.
What could he be talking about?
I don't know. That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
We don't know what he's talking about.
I mean, I was excited when the Model 3 was being announced, and I knew that he was announcing it. But, I don't know. What could it be?
And there's another huge event that's going to be happening in October for Tesla and Solar City. On October 28th, this has been known for some time, but we don't know exactly what they're going to be talking about. There's going to be another big event. Could they be talking about the fact that they're going to be officially merged by that point? Could they be talking about something to do with the new solar panel roof panels? We just don't know exactly. So stay tuned for that on October 28th. So fun to go back and see what life was like before Solar Roof and before Tesla and Solar City had merged.
Yeah, so the October 17th event got pushed back and combined. So on October 28th, 2016, Tesla announced the Solar Roof and Powerwall 2.
And remember all that FUD about the merger of Tesla and Solar City? Tesla is buying this company with all this debt, and it's the worst decision ever.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Chanos literally said, "This is corporate governance at its worst. Oh, no. It's going to bring Tesla down." And of course it didn't. So it's just a nice little example of where the news media was just like, oh my gosh, Tesla's going to die.
Yep.
And it totally didn't happen. A lot of examples like that throughout history. A lot of boy who cried wolf. And speaking of Powerwalls from the last story, now back to episode 6 of Tesla Time News. We're still driving at Sparky. This is a story about the growing demand of Powerwalls in Australia.
Another little tidbit on Tesla was that the Tesla Powerwall sales in Australia jumped 30 times after a whole bunch of blackouts happened this summer. So they were having some serious problems with their power grid, and people are losing power. It became almost a weekly event.
Wow.
And so Powerwall sales are going through the roof in Australia because people are
so
tired
funny.
of that happening.
I remember when we were having all these terrible ice storms and stuff, and we were losing power all the time, that everyone was buying generators, and we got a generator. But it's so funny that, I'm sure if there was a Powerwall available, we would have gotten that.
Oh, it would have been way better. Yeah, we paid a lot of money for a generator that has to be hooked up to natural gas and so forth. Powerwall, if we can get on that list, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So interesting to hear about this need for solutions to the constant crippling blackouts happening in Australia 5 years ago that led to the Hornsdale Tesla battery that today has helped tens of thousands of Australia residents.
And so many people said that it couldn't be done.
Exactly.
It really goes to show that, Tesla steps up. I remember it was 100 days or it's free to install the battery pack.
And they did it.
And they did it on time and on budget, and it's been working. It's done better than expected.
Yep.
And it's constantly proving itself. And that, I think, was a really smart move by Elon. It's continually shown that large-scale grid batteries work, and that has gotten the attention of large-scale grids who are putting them on their grids.
Remember how many people back in Australia at the time said, Elon will never get it done in time, and even if he does, it's not going to work.
Right. And there was all these stories about we have the largest statue of a kangaroo or something. Is that important? And it's the statue of a kangaroo doesn't, help provide power to people when coal plants go offline.
Now, we've covered just about every Tesla event on this channel, including one of our favorites,
the Cybertruck unveiling.
Sit in the center. Let him in first. Sit in the center.
Is this
Go see
granite?
the house.
All right, so we have the Model 3 screen.
You get to see everything here.
Look at the headroom.
Who's having fun? Nobody's having fun?
We're gonna have fun now.
All right, good. Thank you for all of your patience for waiting. I know you guys probably waited a long time to get in here. I promise it'll be a blast. Everyone's seatbelts on.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and make a U-turn here. So this is the 17-inch landscape display. I'm going to show you a little bit of a intro video there. Is that a marble dash? It is not.
Sandstone.
Any other guesses? Sandstone, okay, that's another guess. Paper.
Paper.
Yeah,
Oh, is it like compressed?
pressed paper. Yeah, so this is the navigation route. We're just going to go out to Jack Norfolk here. We can go fast if you want us to go fast.
Yeah.
We can go slow if you want to go slow.
Oh. Whoa. Oh my goodness.
65 miles an hour. So this is just a dual motor version.
This is a pickup truck?
This is a pickup truck. This is a Cybertruck.
Oh my gosh.
So this has the air suspension, really tight turning radius. So it soaks up all the bumps when we have it set in high mode. When we put it in low mode, we can stiffen the dampers and make it act like a sports car. So it's kind of like you own 2 or 3 cars in one. So we put this rear view display up here to replace the rear view mirror.
Wow.
So you always see what's behind you. You have a great view of it, high definition. And then just between us here is the 6th seat. And the 6th seat has center console has cup holders right now, and then when you fold it up, it has a seatbelt on it. So
Wow.
You guys have enough leg room and shoulder room there in the back?
Ample. And tell me about that steering wheel.
This is the yoke steering wheel.
Wow.
All right.
That is
Hope you guys had fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh my God, that was so exciting. I remember that night like it was yesterday. I was so exhausted. And then waiting in line forever and getting to ride in the Cybertruck was so amazing. And it's just, I mean, I think all of you out there know how exciting this is because there's so many of you who are Cybertruck reservation holders. But yeah, this truck is going to be a monster.
And the thing that I actually remember the most from that trip was not the Cybertruck. It was actually meeting a lot of our viewers who were
right.
there, and people were just walking up to me and just being like, "Jesse, right?" And I was just like, "Yeah." It was so nice. I took pictures with so many people. I'd love it. Anyone who has pictures of that night to send in those photos, just because you probably already sent them in, and it's probably on a folder somewhere on the computer that I'm working on. But yeah, I'd just love to see those pictures again. It was such a great night. It was so nice to meet all of you.
And Tesla Time News is sponsored by Cybertruck Owners Club. There you'll find a crowdsourced reservation tracker that you can update and find your place in line. Check out their website for Cybertruck news, discussions, and community for Cybertruck enthusiasts and future owners. All right, it's time for our second video contributor story. This is from our buddy Joaquin in North Carolina.
All right, hello, Zach and Jesse. Joaquin coming to you from Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm here in this kind of graffiti park. They set up these for artists to come in and create artwork for everyone to look at. But there's something interesting here that caught my eye. It's been here for quite a while, but it's the first time I'm seeing it. So let's go check it out.
That's so awesome. I mean, what are the chances that any of us are going to be, just driving through that particular place, stop and take a look and just like look in the background and be like, what's that? Thank you so much. And again, video contributor stories are so awesome. I love having this community feedback where we're all, taking some of the best stuff that we get to see and putting it all together. It makes for such a fun, enjoyable community.
Yeah, because the mass media is not going to tell you about this kind of stuff. And this is what makes us a community is, this is Tesla Nation stuff right here.
Exactly.
Back on episode 7 of Tesla Time News, we had our buddy Steven, who many of you may know from the Rich Rebuilds channel. He was along for the ride in Sparky where we talked about Lucid Motors for the first time.
Yeah, this was back in October of 2016.
a few weeks ago we told you about this new company called Altiva. What's going on with them, Jess?
So they've changed their name.
Why? It was such a great name. It took 4 weeks just to learn how to pronounce it.
Yeah, so they've changed it from
Altiva.
What have they changed it to?
Lucid.
So
Lucid Motors.
These were the guys, they took a van and they put their own drivetrain into it, and they were drag racing all sorts of electric cars and non-electric cars out in the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Yeah, and they were just besting Ferraris.
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious because it was this...
Only car they didn't beat
was the Model S.
Yeah.
So I mean, they were...
So they haven't quite gotten it yet.
Right.
Although they were in a van.
They were in a huge van,
Yeah,
so...
yeah, better for the aerodynamics.
Yeah.
So I guess we got to give them that.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've released some... They've released some teaser photos of what will be their sedan. It looks a lot like
maybe a Tesla?
like a Tesla Model S or something like that.
Yeah, there's a couple little hint photos.
Yeah.
Which were not even full photos.
Right.
But,
I mean, they were just teaser photos, but I mean.
But hey,
it was just a dream.
Right.
A lucid dream.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting that of the cars that we've seen that look pretty good, that look pretty serious. There was the Porsche Mission E, which will come out in God knows when, and this one, the Lucid.
Fisker too. Trying to
I
make
haven't seen
they're
that.
trying to
Right,
revitalize Fisker as well.
Right.
But I mean, of the cars that I've seen, they look a hell of a lot like Teslas in their.
But
design
I
and
will hand it to them. This is a car company that's starting from scratch to make electric cars, and that's awesome.
So I mean, I gotta give them
Kudos
that.
there.
Yeah, and they're following a good leader.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that Lucid used to be called Altiva. Now, when did Lucid say that their first car would be coming out? They originally said that the vehicle will be on the market by 2018.
Whoa, so talk about Elon time. That got pushed back quite a bit. Yeah, it's not due to be delivered until the second half of this year. 4 years delayed.
Right. To me, this is kind of like where everyone's like, oh, Elon's always late. We're going to talk about a couple more companies where maybe Elon time is an understatement.
And now from episode number 8, the first time we reported on Faraday Future. Next story is a car story. The Faraday Future, which is a competitor to Tesla making electric cars, is set to unveil its first production car in January at the CES. And we are showing here the first official image which was released. This is a camouflaged image. They didn't want to show us, I guess, all the details of the car. But this is what the car is going to generally look like. And we'll probably be finding out more details in January when they start, showing the car off.
I think that's pretty awesome to have two fully electric car companies that are both named after really famous scientists. I mean, as a nerd, it's that's
Faraday, yeah,
pretty cool.
When I was a kid, I did a project on Michael Faraday.
Is it really Michael?
I think it's Michael, if I remember correctly. We'll need a fact checker on that.
Okay.
Competitor to Tesla. Yeah, we were very excited. We didn't know anything at the time. Nobody knew anything. And obviously now it's a big scam. It didn't go anywhere.
Well, the FF91 is still being worked on. Remember, we reported on the huge rear video conference screen recently?
Okay, but this is still years after the unveiling. Do we have a delivery date yet?
They haven't built the factory yet.
So that's... Talk about Elon time.
Now, I want to stop and take a minute to thank the people that have gotten this far.
Yeah, we started our Patreon almost 5 years ago when Tesla Time News started, and there is no way that we could be here at episode 250 without them.
One of the things that our patrons allow us to do, besides just bringing you the news every week, is to hire talented editors.
So that we can make the show funny. This is our out-of-context reel that we have exclusively for our patrons at the $4 level, and it shows some of the hard work that goes into making the show. So it kills mosquitoes.
Yeah, we're making this product. It's maybe bad, maybe not. I don't know, but let's not worry about it.
Right. Oh, no, the big flood and the warehouse fell into the river. Well, it's gone now.
Well, it's because they're electric. It's not fair.
Oh, we have nothing we can say about events that have happened in the past.
Stop making fun of GM and Ford. It's not fair. You're being mean. Can you just stop it, Ruth? Can you just do something else?
Right.
Look at our new crap.
People are like, oh, that's great. We should be nice.
$1.7 trillion. That's so much money. Where's that come from?
And billions of dollars a year, that's more money than I can even conceive of.
There are currently 466 service centers in the world.
Like, oh yeah, don't worry, we're working on it. Like, can we just please see what you're doing back there? Well, this was not better than nothing. So I'd like my money back, please.
I don't
Nothing was better.
How can I help you, sir? I don't know how to make any drinks, but I come up with some pretty nifty names.
Why am I running? They were always in front of me. That also didn't happen.
Boy.
Tesla will make cars in Europe when they have the Gigafactory up and running.
We need to partner. We need to pool our emissions.
It's a chess move. It's like that chess in Star Trek that was like on 3 planes and you could jump, into
Three-dimensional chess?
Three-dimensional chess,
Oh, yeah.
Look out! There's a rear seat!
Alert! So, sir, what are you thinking of doing with this car?
Well, I was thinking of robbing a bank.
Oh, well, then you're going to want to go with the Tesla. Has a rear charge port you can get right out of Dodge.
Boop! And then they go, okay, well, we've reached this point, and clearly now it's going to go level right off and go, Cybertruck gonna be a boat. Our father is a miller in town.
But that's not all.
Let's pollute everything. I know how to protect the environment with money.
And then we go back onto the climate agreement. I'm like, wow. Holy wow. Where have we been for 4 years? That's better than hamsters, people, because time does pass.
Hey, well, I guess coal is the only way you can make electricity.
And that's the difference between a car company that you build from the ground up and a car company that was handed to you by your grandfather.
Right? Special little chip in there, because you got to do some...
Not so fast.
Welcome to Stellantis.
This is a
kind of like a Avatar. Maybe it's from the new Avatar.
All right, we've got 3 possible names. Everyone sit down. This is going to be exciting.
I think it could
work. The first
work.
possible name is Stellantis.
No, you know what? I've turned right around on the name.
I'm still the boss.
No, I'm still the boss.
So
Just a bill. Hey, instead of fixing it, we're going to break it.
We unplugged your car.
It's called the Butts and Seats course. And it's because of you that we can do all this. So please consider joining our amazing group of Patreon patrons.
It's time for the Patreon bonus stories, and we're going to show some more of the hard work that goes into making this show every week. You can see all of that and more for just $1 a month. Head over to patreon.com/nowyouknow and sign up now. All right, we're back from the Patreon bonus stories. It's time for the Patreon shoutouts. These are people who make this show possible. Who do we have, Jess? We have King Leonidas 81, Anthony O'Neill, Bradley Olson, Satish Joshi, Scott Gray, Brian Rodriguez, Jerry Gordon, Jason Honyotsky, David Valentine, Terry Shimmick, Seth Trujillo, Joe and Amby Schuyler, Josh Davenport, Dennis Mitchell, Trissy, Raymond Fu, Jesse Dash, Walt Nan, Stan Roth, and Victor Chavez. Thank you so much for supporting us. We can't do this show without you. Now let's go back in time to November of 2016 for a story about a European Gigafactory.
Another story related to Europe. Tesla is looking for a Gigafactory 2 location somewhere in Europe.
A second Gigafactory?
Yes. So
already?
Already. So, I mean, they need to do all this ramp.
What?
They need to be making cars. They need to be making batteries like nobody's business.
Wow.
I mean, Gigafactory 1 isn't even done yet. And it's still growing at an alarming rate. It's going to be massive, and they're already looking for the next site, for the next one.
Yeah, and not only that, did you hear this little leak that he kind of made during the press conference? He said there's no question that long-term Tesla will have at least 1 and maybe 2 or 3 vehicle and battery factory locations in Europe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it because there was at one point reporters would be like, "Ooh, he called his Gigafactory 1."
Right.
It's like, yeah,
he knows.
It was the first one.
Yeah.
There's going to be many more.
Yes.
And if you've watched what was the
Before the Flood.
Before the Flood, there only needs to be about 100 to produce enough batteries to power the world.
Right, to get us off fossil fuels entirely. It's
So-
incredible.
Yeah, we said it back in 2016. There's going to be many more, and we were right. There are currently 2 Gigafactories in operation, of course, and maybe as soon as the end of this year, that number will double to 4. Mic drop. Now to episode 11 for the world's quickest, cheapest car.
All right, so the P100D Ludicrous Model S.
Yes.
The quickest production car.
Yeah, how fast is it?
Well, with the new Easter egg, it's now going to go 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds. So they just shaved off another tenth of a second.
Wow.
This thing
But what's the big news? I don't understand. We already knew it went fast.
So not only is it the fastest production car that you can buy, it's also
the quickest. You mean quickest car?
The quickest production car that you can buy.
Yeah.
It's also the cheapest.
What?
If you want to go to like one step up in terms of price, not speed. Speed, this is the fastest car.
Yeah, I would like to spend a little more. Yes. How much should I spend?
It's at least double. You're talking about like $500,000, $1 million, $2 million for a car that's.
So you can get like a dozen of these for the price of the next step
like
up,
a Ferrari
like
or something like that. Yeah.
Wow. This chart is amazing.
It's awesome.
We're off the charts. Look at all those red dots at the bottom. Those are the Teslas.
Those are all
the bottom.
Teslas.
Just amazing. The cheapest, quickest cars.
It's unbelievable.
And we thought that was fast, but now Tesla's coming out with the Roadster with 0 to 60 in 1.1 second time.
And it's still cheaper than other faster cars.
Yeah.
Well, they're not faster. Other faster generally cars. They're not faster than the Roadster because nothing is.
And now to 2016, when we first reported on a tiny rocket company that wanted to provide global internet coverage.
Okay, so SpaceX has been talking with the FCC about providing internet.
I think SpaceX is a space company, though. They don't run cables and stuff. You must be wrong.
Well, they want to provide internet to the entire world.
Again, you'd have to run cables around the...
No. This would be all done with satellites. So what their plan is that they could have 100% coverage of the entire world with 4,425 geosynchronous satellites.
Wow, that's a lot of satellites.
It's a lot of satellites. They're pretty big satellites. They're not microsatellites. They weigh each about 850 pounds, so it's not gigantic, but it's certainly not like a smartphone or whatever. Each one would cover an ellipse of about 2 kilometers.
Of the planet's surface?
Right. So.
Oh, I see.
And it would just constantly, you could get up to about 1 gigabit which is darn fast.
Per satellite? Or
1 gigabit of coverage.
Per person?
No matter where you are, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You get a gigabit.
Now, this sounds prohibitively expensive. How I don't understand how you could afford to do this.
So they think that the entire project would cost about $10 billion.
To give the entire planet internet?
To give the entire planet internet. That's everywhere. You just, pull up your smartphone, you've got internet. Where are you? In the middle of the ocean, you've got internet.
That's just...
It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
I like this quote here. Once fully deployed, the SpaceX system will pass over virtually all parts of the Earth's surface and therefore, in principle, have the ability to provide ubiquitous global service. Every time Elon comes up with an idea, it's just more amazing.
That could be groundbreaking.
And so he filed papers with the FCC, so they're really thinking of doing this.
Right. So this could provide, this in one swoop is basically taking care of internet for every remote location.
So this would mean SpaceX could become an internet company.
They could be an internet company.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I have to go take a nap.
I know. Pretty exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, that was December 2016. And it sounded crazy, right? And now it's happening. We've literally used it.
Yep.
We have uploaded some of our videos with it.
That's crazy. All right, now for video contributor story number 3, Todd has the prettiest stump puller ever.
Hey Zach and Jesse, Todd here. Today we are using the Tesla tractor to pull some stumps. Tesla stump puller. This type of work would normally be done with a diesel truck or tractor because they are heavy and have lots of torque. Communication with the driver or equipment operator is critical for safety. Gas and diesel equipment is dangerous because you must yell over a roaring engine. Using the Tesla as a tractor was quiet and peaceful. It also provided more precise torque than my diesel Cummins truck ever could. I can't wait to see Cybertrucks on construction sites. Maybe someday we'll get a Tesla tractor. That is the prettiest stump puller ever.
I remember when you first got Sparky, you wanted to use the tow hitch attachment to rip stumps out of the ground.
I still kind of do.
And I didn't know that it could be that simple.
Todd went and did it.
A Model X tire and
Let's go
chain. That's so fun. Now let's go back to Christmas of 2016.
So our first story is that Model X has gotten a new update. It includes the Model Xmas Easter egg.
Cool. So what are some of the things that are in that update?
So one of the cool features is that there are new equalizer bands on the audio system. So there's 5 now instead of 3. You can also summon your car with the fob, which is something you couldn't do before.
Yep.
And there's some other great goodies. You should check out our video on that, which is going to talk about all that and more, including the Mars Easter egg.
Oh, wow. So check that out. Let's put a box right here. If you click that, you can watch that video. Awesome. So there's another cool Easter egg in this update for people with Model X's. So that is the, I guess you'd call it the Model Xmas extravaganza.
Yeah, and should we tell people though what an Easter egg is first for people who don't have the car yet?
So an Easter egg generally in any kind of software is something that is hidden away by the developers for people to find. So in this case, since it's not just a piece of software, but it's also a car, you're able to, for the Mars Easter egg, you're able to look at Mars, and for the Model Xmas update Easter egg, you can have your car do a whole show for you. It's spectacular.
Wow. So why is there no new Christmas dance for the Model X? It's been year after year. You'd think they'd put out like one a year.
It's the same song. I could understand, it's a Christmassy one. Why don't we have any other holidays? Why don't we have anything else? It's Christmassy. Like, how it's like you don't want to listen to Christmas music other than December?
No, that's a good point. Why, put out a non-Christmas song?
Just one that doesn't have the sleigh bells in it. Just something that isn't so Christmassy, because basically every Tesla event that I've ever seen, people want their Model X's to do something other than just open the doors. And it's great that they have an Easter egg.
Right.
Why hasn't Tesla just allowed you to customize the song? It doesn't even have to go along with the lights as long as the car is doing this.
I totally
That's better
agree.
than most cars.
And what's funny is we had to explain what an Easter egg is, and that was 5 years ago. Now it seems so obvious.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, now that you have fart mode.
Now on to episode 17 for a cool story about Tesla Autopilot predicting an accident.
Okay, so a stunning video from the Netherlands shows how amazing Autopilot can be. The video shows a Tesla Autopilot warning the driver a second before anything obvious goes wrong on the road. So just watch this. It's amazing.
Yeah, so what happened here?
So the Tesla knew that there was going to be a car accident in front of it before it actually happened.
What I want to know is, as I watched this video, and I watched it many times, I can't see anything that would have alerted me as the driver that something was going wrong. So how did the Tesla know that?
Right, so there's no way that you as the driver would have been able to predict this accident because you can't see through the car in front of you. Right? But the Tesla can see under that car and can see the car in front of it.
So he saw that it was slamming on its brakes.
It knew that there was a car
2 cars ahead.
2 cars ahead was too slow, and that the next car was going too fast, and that there was going to be a collision. And so it warned the driver. The driver applied the brake with well enough time to stop before it would have been involved in this accident.
It would have been involved in the accident, which could have hurt the Tesla driver. Could have also hurt the other drivers as well, having this new car crash into them.
And the cars behind him would not have known to slow down.
Right. So
another thing is, towards the end of the video, you see him actually get out of the car and start to help.
Right.
So I mean, not only are you preventing someone from getting hurt, you are actively making sure that person, instead of being hurt, is now helping.
Yes.
I mean, that's
incredible. And the other part that I want to point out is this warned the driver of the Tesla, which can, you're driving along on a highway, you could be chatting or looking at the radio. Having that warning come up gives you a second of time. And a second at going at 60 or 70 or 80 miles an hour is a lot of distance.
It's a lot of time.
And so that is all it takes for an accident to happen or to be stopped from happening.
Especially before you
before you could even see it and react.
Right.
I mean, it's at least, I would say, 2 seconds before you would even have applied the brake.
Right. So, I mean, it gave the Tesla driver almost like a future, being able to see into the future.
That's amazing.
It really is amazing.
Now, this was one of the first times that we saw a Tesla avoiding an accident due to some of its safety features. And I just want to remind everyone that this was before they added the Tesla cam.
Yeah. I mean, now there's thousands of examples of this and other accidents all captured through Tesla's cameras.
And I just want to give a little shout out here. A lot of them get uploaded to the great YouTube channel, Wham Bam Tesla Cam. So you can go watch. There's now thousands of videos of actual impacts and also accidents being completely avoided with some of Tesla's safety features. But at the time, we had never seen that before.
That's right. All right, it's time for Sunspots.
So in episode 13, we reported on the world's largest solar farm.
India unveils the world's largest solar plant.
The world's largest solar plant?
The world's largest solar plant.
In India?
In India, so it's 648 megawatts.
That's awesome.
And India is also on track to be the world's third biggest solar market next year.
Wow.
So,
how did we find out about this story?
We should credit one of our viewers, Venkatesh Ravi. He is an Indian viewer of ours.
He told us about this story?
He told us all about this story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I love this community of ours.
This is awesome. So, if you guys have any other stories, we'd love to hear about them. So,
yeah, be a reporter for us.
Right. There's no money in it, but we'll definitely give you a shout out. So, so getting back to this is the largest solar power plant in a single location. So it's taking the title away from the Topaz Solar Farm in California.
Wow.
Which has 550 megawatts. So it's beating it by about 100 megawatts.
Go India.
So this is really cool.
Nice.
So there's one really cool thing about this solar plant.
Yeah.
Which is that it's robotically cleaned every day.
It's cleaned by robots?
Cleaned by robots that are charged by the solar system.
That's great. That's really cool. I heard that by 2022, India wants to have 60 million homes powered by solar energy.
Wow.
And it has a goal of, by 2030, of having 40% of the country powered by non-fossil fuels.
Wow, that's really great.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
So now, fast forward to today, and the current largest solar plant is also in India. It's the 2.24 gigawatt Badla Solar Park. It's 4 times bigger than the one we reported on 4 years ago.
And this one can actually provide enough power to go back in time, which is pretty cool.
And if you'd like to get solar on your house, but you have a lot of questions, talk to our friends over at Energy Pal. They have all the answers.
Click the link in the description below to talk to them.
Thank you for being here with us for 250 episodes. I don't know if you've been here for the whole 250, but if you want to, you can go back and watch, all of them. They're on our channel. I want to really thank our team. Our team, Brent and Bobby, have been with us since day one. We could not do this show without them because they work tirelessly to edit the show every single week, and we're all getting a vacation this week. So this is our first vacation in 5 years.
I just want to point out there have been a lot of Mondays that are usually like national holidays. We've also had some Mondays that were Christmas. We've also had some, Mondays that were
snowstorms,
January 1st, and through it all, Brent and Bobby, our 2 editors that have been working with us, since the beginning, have always gotten you the news in a very timely manner. And for that, I just want to say thank you, because we couldn't have done the first episode without them. There was no way on earth that we could have recorded the first episode and then edited it together into a cohesive show. And that's true of every show. So big shout out to them, because it's been 250 episodes and they have always come through.
I just wanted to say thank you to Zach and Jesse, because you guys put in so much hard work every single week, and it's been a pleasure to edit Tesla Time News for 250 weeks, and it's been fun watching you guys learn and grow. I think I speak on behalf of all the viewers as well, that we just appreciate every inch of effort you guys put into getting the news to people and telling the full story. So I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of me and Brent and the other editors, Ethan and Matthew, and also the viewers. So Zach and Jesse, thank you guys.
I'm looking forward to the next 250. How about you?
I am too. There's more and more exciting things to be looking forward to. We've got Oh my gosh, we've got a Rivian on order. We've got a Cybertruck on order. We've got a Ford on order. You've got the Endurance on order.
Yep.
We have a Tesla semi-truck on order. We should be getting a bunch of Tesla Roadsters pretty soon.
Yep. Not to mention all the other fun stuff like Light Horse and stuff and the Arcimoto that we want to go check out. So yeah, there's so much cool stuff coming. We're going to share it all with you. Thank you for being there for us for 250 episodes. Let's go for the next 250.
We'll see you next week. Now you know.